guys, here they are, my top 5 anime comic book crossovers that I'd like to see happen, but I know will never happen. And as always, what this is once again is I gotta say, as always, this is my list, and this is just my opinion. This is just how I'd like to see things. If you think there's something on here that you think should be higher, lower, or on the list, or not on the list, that's totally your opinion. That's totally fine. We all have our own opinions, and this is not fact I'm saying. This is just something I'd like to see. Some stuff I'd like to see happen. But anyway, having said that, let's go on to the top 5 now. At number 5, Hellboy and Hellsing crossover. Yeah, Hellboy and Hellsing. This makes so much sense, because when you think about it, these two are so much alike. You've got the Bureau of Paranormal Investigation and Research and Defense, and you've got the Hellsing organization, which is pretty much the British version of the BPRD. And they've both fought Nazis and occults and demons and stuff like that, so a crossover would not be hard to do. It would be pretty easy. You just do something with the Nazis, or you do something with vampires, and it would be cool. I think it would be cool to see Alucard and Hellsing just whip out their guns and just start blasting away at some 30-foot demon or some shit like that. I think it'd be a lot of fun to see like all the other character interactions, like Abe meeting Walter and Liz, the character of Liz meeting Sarah. There's a lot of similarities to all the characters. I think it'd be cool to how they would play around with the Hellboy universe. Now, obviously, this would probably be a story set before what happened in because now Hellboy's quote-unquote dead and in hell right now, so this would probably have to be a story set before Hellboy goes to hell, so there would have to be that little minor continuity problem. But other than that, I think this could work on so many levels. But yeah, that's my number 5. So my number 4, moving on, is Batman Death Note. As you can obviously see from this fan art picture I found. Yeah, Batman Death Note. This also works. I mean, this is it would be a cool horror mystery story of Batman, because Batman's delved into the supernatural before, and like pseudo-supernatural and fringe science and like Legends of the Dark Knight and some of his other Batman stuff. So this is something like Death Note would be a cool mystery for him to solve. Now, how I would do this is set it before Light gets the Death Note, and it would probably be someone else who has the Death Note and is knocking off crime bosses and is someone who is just going around killing people in so many different and artistic ways. It's like a serial killer, but has this really sick sense of justice, and Batman's trying to find him. At the same time, L is there. L is in the city. This case interests him, and I think it'd be cool for Batman and L. They probably wouldn't meet in person, but I think it'd be cool for L to like somehow get his signal inside the Batcave and just surprise the hell out of Batman, and just be like, how the hell did you get into this system? I can do anything I please. Something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, Batman Death Note. Now moving on to number 3. My number 3 pick. For those who are wondering, my number 3 pick is Wolverine and Black Lagoon. Wolverine and Black Lagoon. Now, I originally thought that it'd be cool. Not only this, as a side note, I'd also like to have Punisher Black Lagoon. But Wolverine Black Lagoon. When you think about it, Wolverine, you know, without the mutant powers, he could fit into a world of Black Lagoon. He's lived in these kind of shithole areas. Like Mandapore is a good idea. Now, there were so many ideas I had for a Wolverine Black Lagoon story of like Mandapore is like the sister city of Roanapur, and the current crime lord Tiger is trying to take over, and Bella Lyca's not having that shit. The biggest idea I had, like how you could do this, is like Wolverine at one point in his past, when he was part of Weapon X, he was part of a mission in Afghanistan, and his mission was completely botched. He got several innocent people killed by Russian Spetsnaz, and in charge of that group was Bella Lyca. And now that he knows where she is, he gets a tip on where she is, and Wolverine says, you know what? I'm going to finish this bitch. She killed a bunch of innocent bystanders for what she claimed was the greater good, and it was just her getting more weapons out to the communist to the Russian part, to the Communist Party. So I'm going to take some revenge and disembowel her. And Wolverine cuts a swath of just bloodshed and destruction through Roanapur, and and it gets to the point where Bella-Lyca's like, okay, I have got to get somebody to help out. And who does she get? She gets Omega Red to back her up. So that's one way. The other idea you could do this is like Wolverine and Roberta teaming up. You know, you don't have to set it in Roanoper. You could set it in like an island, like they're being hunted. They're being hunted by big game hunters for sport, or they're being set up, something like that. But Wolverine and Roberta would also be a cool team up as well in the Black Lagoon universe. So yeah, but also like I said, you could. I would even like to see, on a side note, I'd even like to see Punisher Black Lagoon. I know there's a crossover on fanfiction that follows the Marvel Max universe Punisher, but yeah. Anywho, so that is my number 3. Now coming down to the top 2. And number 2 is Fantastic Four and a Tenchi Muyo crossover. Now, Fantastic Four, Tenchi Muyo. This is, again, this is a perfect combination when you think about it. Even though this is a harem anime, it's also a science fiction and action anime, and they kind of delve into the same stuff the Fantastic Four have done. Time travel, different dimensions, outer space, alien invaders, alien empires, gods, monsters, all kinds of shit that the Fantastic Four has done. And in some way, Tenchi and the girls are like a family. They're like they don't consider themselves superheroes, but they do watch out for their own, and they're very much like tight-knit like a family, even though they don't show it all the time. So I could definitely see something like that, like a team up between the Fantastic Four and the Tenchi Muyo girls and him as well. There are so many. Again, there are so many ways you could do this. Like you could have the Kree or the Skrull attacking and trying to conquer Jirai to get hold of the Jirai trees. You could even have Galactus coming to devour Jirai, or you could have so many other villains in here. Like you could have Doom and Kagato working together, or something like that, or even Dr. Clay working with Dr. Doom, or hell, it could be something completely new cosmic threat, or something like that. Something like a member of the Jirai Empire who's been scorned, and now he's coming back to wreck shit. And the Fantastic Four are kind of thrown in there. So there's one way, and there's so many ways it would be cool. Like Galactus meeting Washu. I think that would be a cool meeting between one of the most powerful beings in the universe, the World Eater, meeting the smartest person in the universe. And not to mention that, I think it would be cool for Washu to have a conversation with Reed Richards and just outsmart him. Like Reed always prides himself on being a very smart person, but I'd love to. Seeing Washu just mock him and just say every idea. Like, I could see Reed and Washu talking about, what would be another good plan to come up with, and she's just going, nope, that won't work, nope, thought about it, nope, just sit in the corner. It'd basically be like, I just also have this scene where Johnny walks up and is like, hey, now you know how we all feel, Reed. So, that'd be just a great scene between Reed and Washu. I could even see, like, I'd just love to see Johnny's reaction to Tenchi hanging out with all these girls. And he's like, wait, you live with all of them? I want your life. Yeah, I think that'd be great. I could just see him hitting on Mihoshi and all the other girls, and Sue telling him, no, stop, no. So, something along those lines would be cool, because again, Tenchi Muyo may be a harem anime, but it also is like a science fiction anime, and has a lot of the elements that that Fantastic Four has. So, yeah, I could definitely see Tenchi Muyo and Fantastic Four crossover. So, now you're probably all wondering, what is my number 1 crossover that I would like to see? And that is Batman Beyond and Ghost in the Shell. Yes, Batman Beyond Ghost in the Shell. This is one of the first anime comic book crossovers I ever thought of. Because when you think about future technology at its prime, machines, all that kind of stuff, and stuff that Terry has encountered as Batman. Now, this would probably be in like the Batman Beyond Unlimited comics, where Terry's a bit older, and he's very smart about being Batman. And you could have him the Major is following somebody who was like this brilliant computer whiz, and he's basing himself in Gotham, so the Major comes there to find him, arrest him, or kill him. And Batman, not knowing what Section 7 is, excuse me, Section 9, he is pretty much against the Major in Gotham City, and it turns out that there's this huge techno conspiracy. I could see the Major and Batman fighting each other, and then eventually, you know, teaming up. This is such a cool idea, really. Like, when you think about Batman Beyond and Ghost in the Shell working together, the Batman Beyond universe with Ghost in the Shell, it would be very cool of how the Batman would be fighting someone, the Major, who could easily probably go toe to toe with Batman, and probably even, I'd say she could probably outclass. She could even get the drop on Terry. I could see her even taking control of Terry's Batmobile. As most of you guys know, she can take over machines, so that would be interesting. Like, I could even see her taking over the suit. So the Major would prove to be an interesting ally and opponent for Terry to come across. So yeah, but anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this this top 10 crossover. Again, these are just crossovers. I was like, I'd love to see them, but I know they'll never happen. So I just decided to do this fun top 10 list. You guys tell me, once again, what would be your favorite top 10 crossovers between manga and comic book, and how would you do them, and stuff like that. And yeah, once again, this is just my list. This is just how, this is just my personal favorites. They don't have to be everyone's. This is just my opinion. It's not fact. And these are just how... these are just my personal favorites. If yours are different, or did you have one on here that was higher or lower, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinions. But anyway, guys, I'm out.